So hello and welcome dito sa ating module 1 no ng uh, switching, routing and wireless essentials no or Cisco 2 ng ating semester. So kung mapapansin niyo rito no yung topic natin ay basic device configuration. So some of the topic no inside this module na natakil na natin sa Cisco 1 pa lamang no? Pero it is the best way na rin no, to review, especially doon sa mga naiiwan sa klase no? Yan. Actually there is no reason para maiiwan sa klase, tandaan niyo yan no? Dahil ang course naman natin is designed for high school level, so easy to understand no? Ngayon kung nahihirapan din kayo to understand the topic, gawa kayo ng paraan no? Merong YouTube, di ba? Sa YouTube marami kayong makikita tutorial dyan eh. Wala na talaga excuse no para sabihin nahihirapan kayo sa klase. Okay? Nandiyan naman yung mga classmates no na marunong namang sa klase, pwedeng tanungin, hindi naman nangangagat yan, di ba? So in short, kung meron pa ring dahilan no, ibig sabihin nun ayaw lang gumawa talaga ng paraan, di ba? So that message is intended to all ano, especially kaya nga kayo nag-aaral dito sa ating school, di ba? Para ma-prepare ninyo yung future ninyo kasi nga magtatrabaho na kayo. Alangan namang magulang niyo pa ang bubuhay sa inyo. Yan, hindi naman habang buhay nandiyan si mama at si papa, di ba? Yung iba sa inyo mature na no, meron na sariling pamilya. Gustong masubukang makakuha ng magandang trabaho that can give them no source of income na stable no. So again, do not waste your time no doing nothing. Okay, so balik tayo dito. Ang ating objective no for this course or module, yan, configure initial settings no on the Cisco switch, configure switch port to meet network requirements, configure secure management access no on the switch, configure basic settings no on a router to route between two directly connected networks no using command line interface. Again no, familiar na no kasi nga natakil na natin ito sa Cisco 1 pa lang no. So ayan, so dapat ito pamilya na talaga no. And then verify connectivity between two networks that are directly connected to a router. Okay, so configure a switch no with initial settings. Yan. Pero bago tayo makapag-configure, syempre ng switch na, pag-usapan muna natin yung process no, yung boot up process or boot up sequence ng ating Cisco iOS switch no. So halimbawa kasi itong switch na to, kung napansin niyo wala siyang power switch. Ibig sabihin switch on, switch off, wala siyang ganun, di ba? So kung makikita niyo ay cable na ipa-plug lang natin directly sa outlet no. Yun yung meron sa switch na ito no. So after a Cisco switch is powered on no, it goes through the following 5-step boot sequence. Step number 1 daw, the switch loads the power on self-test no, stored in the ROM. So post checks the CPU subsystems. It tests the CPU, the dynamic RAM, and the portion of the flash device that makes up the flash file system. In short, etong switch na to, computer, no? Wala nga lang siyang keyboard, mouse, and monitor. Computer siya. Step number 2, no? The switch loads the bootloader software. The bootloader daw is a small program stored in the ROM that is run immediately after the post successfully completes. Kung kayo ay nakasubok ng multiple boot no sa inyong computer no, kunyari meron kayong naka-install na Windows, may naka-install na Linux, bootloader yung mag-a-appear sa inyo, to choose which of the two operating system you want to boot on. Yan. So yung tinatawag nating bootloader software. So the bootloader performs the low-level CPU initialization. It initializes the CPU registers, no? Pagka sinabi kasi natin CPU registers, di ba may mga instruction ito, no? May mga instruction, no? Which controls where physical memory is mapped, the quantity of memory, no, na gagamitin, and its speed, no? Then the bootloader initializes the file system on the system board. Yan. Itong file system, itong flash file system, pwede natin siyang i-compare sa hard drive, no? Kung saan nandun yung operating system natin. Okay. Then, finally, the bootloader locates and load the default iOS operating system software, yan, into the memory and gives control of the switch over the iOS. Okay. So yun yung no? Yun yung boot sequence, no? Okay. Meron tinatawag na boot system command, no, dito po sa Cisco iOS natin, no? Kasi pwede tayong magkaroon ng multiple operating system, no, or images, no, ng iOS. Okay. So basahin muna natin, no? So the switch attempts to automatically boot by using the information in the boot environment variable. Kung meron kang dalawang version ng iOS, pwede mo kasing specify kung sino yung ibuboot mo every time na yung switch niyo mag-start, di ba? If this variable is not set, the switch attempts to load and execute the first executable file it can find, no? Kasi possible nga na meron kang dalawang version ng iOS, kunyari iOS version 15 and iOS version 12. Kaya lang hindi mo naman sinet yung boot environment. Ayan, kung ano man yung nakikita niya una na file doon sa tawag dito sa flash file system natin, yung ibubot niya, no? Okay. I'm not sure, no, kung kunyari ang pinapin natin ay una ay iOS version 12, pangalawa ay iOS 15, kung yung 12 yung mauna, no? Hindi ko pa siya paglalaruan, no? Basta yun yung sinasabi niya. Okay. Kung ano man yung una niyang matagpuan dyan, no? So again, the iOS operating system then initializes the interface using the Cisco iOS commands found in the startup config file. The startup config file is called config.txt. So dito sa dito pala sa switch, okay, meron tayong file kung tawagin ay config.txt, okay, na nakasave sa flash memory. Yung host name, yung IP address, yung password ninyo ay dito nakasave. Yan, sa file na ito. Okay. So therefore, no, kunyari kung gusto niyo i-reset yung switch ninyo, pwede niyo rin burahin yung file na to. Okay, kasi pagka binura niyo yung file na to, wala nang configuration na ilo-load yung switch natin. Ang makikita natin ay yung parang ganito, no? Bukas muna tayo ng puti. Yan, no? Ang makikita nyo ay, would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? Kasi nga, na-reset siya, no? Or wala siyang current configuration. So, walang laman yung config.txt, blanco yan. So, the boot environment variable is set using the boot system global configuration mode, no? Dito kasi, notice that the iOS is located in the distinct folder and the folder path is specified, no? Ito, sample dito sa command. Kunyari, ginawa daw ng administrator, boot system, yung location, yung flash, colon, ito folder, ito, pangalan ng folder, ang haba, no? Okay, pero kung tutusin, pwedeng wala na yung folder na to, nasa labas na yung file, pwede yun, okay. So, kumbaga ito yung directory, no? Directory and then the image, no, of our iOS, no? Yan. So manually set siya, no? Yan. So ibig sabihin pag sinave niya ito at nag-reload siya, magbubot po yung ating switch sa version 15 ng iOS, no? So yung boot system daw, yan daw yung command, no? Yung flash daw is location or storage. Pwede kasing USB yan, eh. USB colon, no? Ito ay folder, no? The path to the file system. Tapos ito na mismo yung iOS file name. Pero check muna natin, no? Yung ating switch dito. Ako ay nakakonect sa tunay na switch using PuTTY. So check ko muna, no? Using show flash para makita yung yung content ng iOS. So dito sa switch na to, iisa lang po yung OS niya, no? So try ko munang ilipat sa ibang switch. Baka meron tayo ditong switch na meron dalawang iOS, no? Yan. So dito sa Beira ko, yung pangatlong switch pala ay merong dalawang iOS, no? Meron tayo ditong original image niya, no? Yung luma-luma, which is iOS version 12. At meron siyang iOS 15. So check natin kung ano yung default image, no, na ginagamit ng ating Catalyst switch, no, using show boot. Yan. So using show boot, pinakita niya rito yung boot path list, no. Yan. So tayo ay nagbo-boot sa version 15. So halimbawa, gusto kong ito yung i-boot niya sa susunod na start niya, no. Check ko lang kung may parang walang copy dito, no. So walang copy dito sa sa PuTTY. So mag-install pa ako na isa pang software which is luma na ito. Pero para siyang PuTTY, no? Okay. So i-close ko na to. Mamaya na lang natin gamitin si PuTTY, ano? So type natin. Palitan ko muna ng ating font here para medyo malaki-laki, no? So iset ko muna yung mga parameters dito sa PuTTY terminal, which is yung serial, no? Kasi naka-default siya sa device na ito, eh. So select ko yung letter A, PTY USB 0, tapos C, oh sorry, yung E, no? Yung letter E, yung speed niya ay C, 9,600. Tapos enter save default, save as default. Ibig sabihin kada bukas ko ng Minicom, yun na yung settings na gagamitin niya. Sudo Minicom, yan, nasa loob na ako na switch. Show flash. Gusto ko mag-boot dito, no? Yan, copy ko muna yung file na ito, no? Tapos sa global configuration mode, boot system, yung flash, storage, yung file. Kasi wala nang folder ito eh. Image na kaagad doon sa ano, sa flash memory. Subukan natin mag-reload, no? Tingnan natin kung mababago yung boot natin, no? Yung image. So nag-error siya, no? Ibig sabihin nag-boot pa rin tayo sa 15. Check ko mamaya, no, kung saan ako nagkamali dito. Baka mamaya folder pala ito. So baka folder ito, tapos sa loob ng folder nandun yung file. Show flash. Okay. Directory nga siya, no? Sorry. Hindi ko napansin ito, directory. So, ibig sabihin ito, directory. Lagay muna natin siguro sa mousepad, no? Ayan, tapos, CD tayo. CD C2960. Tapos dir directory din, no? Parang sa ano, may ls ba? Check nga natin. Wala siyang ls. Directory yung command niya, no? Ito pala yung file, no? Copy. So now I will copy this location, no? And then modify uli natin yung boot system natin or boot environment. So modify the boot environment using boot system paste. Yan. So check natin, no? Using Showboot, makikita natin kung saan tayo kung ano yung operating system version, no? Yan, no? Version 12. Okay. Pero syempre, luma ito, no? Okay. Kumbaga lang for backward compatibility, no? Halimbawa, may mga basic configuration ka lang naman pero mas supported doon sa luma, nagamitin nyo. Pero kunyari may mga IPv6 or something, syempre doon na tayo sa bago, no? Okay. So ibabalik ko to sa dati, which is iOS version 15. Okay, tapos saka tayo magpo-proceed ng discussion, no? Okay. So while rebooting, no, dito naman tayo sa susunod na slide. Ito yung nakikita ninyo doon sa sa harapan, ano. Ito lang naman yung mga tawag dito, no, system LED or SYST, no? Or SYST, no. Show whether the system is receiving power and functioning properly. Ito, redundant power supply, wala tayo niyan, no? Mayroon kasing version ng switch na ito na dalawa yung power supply niya. Isa lang yung power supply nito. Show the RPS status, no? Kung nakailaw yan, edi dalawa yung power supply niyo. Tapos stat, no? When green daw, indicates port status mode is selected, which is the default, no? Which is the default. So yung SYST saka yung stat naka-kulay green siya, no? Yan. So by default. So port duplex, no? Port duplex when green indicates port duplex mode is selected. So ibig sabihin, pwede kasing ma-select yan using this. Yan. Using mode button. So kapag ka pindot ka na isa, lipat sa duplex, speed, PoE. No, ganoon siya. So, port speed, when green indicates port speed mode is selected. Power over Ethernet. So, yung version ng switch natin dito sa MFI ay yung Catalyst 2960 natin ay walang PoE. So, ibig sabihin, ordinary ano lang ito. Ordinary catalyst lang ito. Ayan. So, wala siyang feature na pwede siya magbato ng kuryente sa sa Ethernet cable. So, the mode button is used to move between the different mode, no? Stat, duplex, speed, and PoE. So may mga documentation, no, yung mga switch natin na kung saan nakalagay ito, no. Ayan, kunyari RPS daw, no. Kapag ka naka-off daw yung ilaw, no redundant power supply. Kapag ka naka-green, ready. Pagka blinking green, naka-up daw yung RPS but not available. Kapag amber or kulay orange, standby or naka-standby siya or pwede may fault daw siya, no. Blinking amber, internal power supply failed, RPS providing power, no? Dalawa eh. PoE, no? Kapag ka naka-off daw, not selected, no issue. Green, selected. So yung blinking green saka amber, not available. Blinking amber, not selected. Or port issues present, no, present or present. So stop, no? No blinking kapag naka-off down, no? No link or shutdown. Kapag green, link up, blinking green with activity. Amber down, no? Black is port is black or preventing loop. Port black, preventing loop din ito, no? Yung blinking amber or alternating green amber, may problema. So duplex, half duplex kapag ka naka-off, full duplex kapag ka naka-green, no? Then the rest not applicable or not available. Speed naman, nakapatay ang ilaw, no? 10 Mbps. Green, 100 Mbps. Blinking green, 1 Gbps. PoE, yeah, of course, kung patay yung ilaw ng PoE, di wala, no? Green, PoE on. Amber, disabled. Blinking amber daw, may faulty or fault, no? Alternating green amber, denying power, no? Ibig sabihin, di na sapat yung power niya to provide power, no? Doon sa nakakabit doon sa interface niya, no? So the bootloader daw provides access into the switch, no? If the operating system cannot be used because of the missing or damaged system files. The bootloader has a command line that provides access to the files stored in a flash memory. Bootloader can be accessed through the console connection following this step, ano? Of course, connect a PC by console cable to switch console port, no? Configure terminal emulation software to connect, no, using PuTTY or Minicom pwede. Unplug the power cable, no? Ito, kunyari gumagana muna. And then kung confirm niyo na gumagana na yung terminal niyo, try niyo tanggalin yung kuryente or yung kable. Reconnect the power cable. Press natin yung mode button for about 15 seconds. Okay? While the system LED is still flashing, no? Kapag nag-steady yan, then bitaw na, no? Continue pressing mode button until system LED turns briefly amber and then solid green, no? Then release the mode button. Ako meron akong palatandaan dito para malaman kung bibitawan ko na yung yung mode button, no? Sige. I-reboot ko yung switch natin. Tapos i-press ko yung Enter muna tayo, no? So kapag ni-reload ko to, i-press ko kaagad yung mode button, no? So naka-hold ako ngayon sa mode button dito sa ating Bayrock, no, na 2960 Catalyst. Kapag nakita ko na to, the password recovery mechanism is enabled, pwede ko nang bitawan yan. Yan. So ito yung sinasabi niyang bootloader. Okay, again, no? The bootloader provides access into a switch if the operating system cannot be used because of missing or damaged system files. So the bootloader has the command line that provide access to the file stored in flash memory. So the bootloader can be accessed through a console connection following this step, ano? Ayan. So the bootloader with switch prompt appears in the terminal emulation software on the PC. The bootloader command line supports command to format the flash file system, reinstall the operating system software, and recover lost or forgotten password, no? For example daw, the directory command can be used, no, to view the list of the file within the specified directory. So yung ginawa kasi natin dito, bypass natin yung normal boot sequence, no, ng ating Catalyst switch. So nasa loob tayo ng ROM, read-only memory. So ibig sabihin hindi naka-load yung yung flash memory. Kung gusto niyo makita yung laman ng flash memory natin, which is yung flash, no? Kailangan natin siya initialize using this command. Pero gamitin muna natin yung directory. So sabi niya, dear flash directory, sabi niya, unable to start flash file system kasi nga hindi siya naka-load, no? So kung gusto niyo makita yung mga laman, no, pati configuration, edi flash underscore init. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, na-load ko na po yung flash file system. So, kapag ka nag-directory ako, directory flash colon. Ayan, kikita nyo yung laman, ano? Itong config.txt, kung tutusin, pwede nyo siyang burahin, using this command, no? Delete flash colon config.txt. Pero mag-iingat kayo, baka naman ma-delete nyo ito. Okay? Baka ma-delete nyo yan. Pagka na-delete nyo, wala na tayong OS. Yan. So, yun yung dapat nyong iingatan, no? Do not delete the following files, no? Yan. Ang i-delete lang natin ito, config.txt. Kasi nandiyan nakasave yung mga password, yung configuration, no? Yan. So, burado na yun. Then, you can now type boot para makapag-restart sa operating system, no? Ganoon lang, no? Kung gusto niyo burahin na rin yung configuration dahil nakalimutan niyo na yung mga settings, no? At gusto niyo ulitin, no, from the start, pwedeng ganoon ang gawin niyo, mode button, no? Okay? Pero pwede rin naman tayo mag-password recovery lang, no? Pati configuration ay mariretain natin, no? Siguro sa later video na lang, no? Or additional video, no? So to prepare a switch, no, for remote management access, the switch must be configured with an IP address and subnet mask. Yan, no, sa kanyang VLAN 1, no, VLAN 1 interface by default. Kasi nga, kung bakit tayo sa VLAN 1 naglalagay ng IP address, by default yung pass Ethernet 1 hanggang 24, tapos yung gigabit 01 at gigabit 02 ay member ng VLAN 1. Okay, yung tatandaan yun, no? Hindi VLAN 99, no? Kasi ibang VLAN yun, eh. Kung maglalagay kayo ng IP address sa VLAN 99, hindi naman naka-join yung mga port na port 1, 24, hanggang gigabit 1, gigabit 2. So, hindi nyo talaga mapiping yung galing sa PC, no? Halimbawa, naglagay kayo dito, interface VLAN 99, naglagay kayo ng IP address. May IP address kasi VLAN 99, naka-down naman siya kasi nga wala namang associated port sa kanya. Which is pag-uusapan natin sa ibang module ng course natin na ito, no? Yan, kumbaga dito example lang niya 'yon, no? Ito pa lang switch natin ay pwedeng lagyan din ng IPv4 and IPv6. Yan, dual stacking, no? Kaya lang i-enable pa natin 'yon. Okay. So kagaya nito, no, pwedeng lagyan ng IPv6. So kaya na may commands, check nga natin, no. Ayun. So without this command, you will not be able to configure an IPv6. Check muna natin, no. Puntahan muna natin yung ating tunay na switch, no. Tapos, lagay muna ako ng IP address, interface VLAN 1, IP address, kunyari 192.168.1.100. No shutdown. Subukan natin int VLAN 1 IPv6. Yan, no? By default, hindi tayo i-allow na maglagay ng IPv6 address. Exit muna tayo. We need to enable this, no? Yung SDM prefer dual. Ibig sabihin may IPv4 lang tayo. Yan yung command, no? SDM prefer dual IPv4 and IPv6 default. I'm not sure if this command works with the packet tracer. Try nyo na lang. Yan. So, kailangan natin i-save ito at i-reload yung switch natin. So now let's try to configure an IPv6 address. Interface VLAN 1, IPv6 address, halimbawa 2000 db8 face acad ::1/64. Yan. Show IPv6 in brief. Ito na siya, no? Again, purpose lang naman nun is if you want to remotely manage your switch using IPv6, no? So ito yung mga commands na ginamit doon, ano? Configure terminal. Dito sample lang ni Cisco ito, VLAN 99. Pero of course, pagka nag-VLAN 99 kayo sa ngayon, tapos yung PC ninyo, nilagay nyo ng IP address, same network with this VLAN 99, pero hindi nyo naman in-specify doon sa switch na yung port na kung saan na-connect yung PC ninyo ay member ng VLAN 99. Hindi mag-uusap yan. Again, i-discuss ko nga yun, no? Sa susunod na mga modules, no? We have dual stack IP, IPv4 and IPv6. So configuring default gateway, no? So mahalaga na meron siyang default gateway if you wanted to access that switch remotely, no? Example. Show IP in brief. Halimbawa 1100 tapos 1.1 yung kanyang gateway. Hindi ang command interface interface, interface tuloy, default IP default gateway. Yan. So verify configuration using show IP interface brief for IPv4, show IPv6 interface brief for IPv6 na. Yan. So duplex na. Communication increases, or full duplex communication increases bandwidth efficiency, by allowing both ends of the connection to transmit and receive data simultaneously. This is known as bidirectional communication, and it requires micro-segmentation. Pagka sinabi daw micro-segmented LAN, yan. So micro-segmented LAN is created when the switch port has only one device connected and is operating in full duplex mode. Example, yung PC nakakonekta sa inyong switch. Micro-segmented siya. Walang collision. There is no collision domain associated with a switch port operating in full duplex mode. Unlike full duplex communication naman, yung half duplex communication is unidirectional. Half duplex communication create performance issues because data can flow in only one direction at a time. Kapag ka nagkasabay, nagkakaroon tayo ng data collision. Gigabit Ethernet and 10 gigabit Ethernet NIC requires full duplex connection to operate in full duplex. In full duplex mode daw, the collision detection circuit on the NIC is disabled. So full duplex offers 100% efficiency in both direction. Kunyari kung 100 Mbps yung bandwidth natin, 100 Mbps transmit, 100 Mbps receive. Okay? Kaya sinasabi niya, this result in a doubling of the potential use of stated bandwidth. Switch port can be manually configured with the specific duplex and speed settings. The respective interface configuration command are duplex and speed. So the default settings now for both duplex and speed, which for switch port on the Catalyst 2960 and 3560 switches is naka-auto negotiate siya. Okay. The 10, 100, 1000 port operates in either half or full duplex mode when they are set to 10 or 100 Mbps, and operates only in full duplex mode when it is set to 1 Gbps. Auto negotiation daw, useful daw yan when the speed and duplex settings of the device connecting to the port are unknown or may change when connecting to a known devices such as servers, dedicated workstation, or network devices. Best practice daw is to set manually the speed and duplex settings. Pero ako hindi ko ginagawa ito Okay? Hindi ko siya ginagawa kasi matrabaho ito Hinahayaan ko na mag-auto negotiate dahil nag-negotiate naman sila sa full duplex, at kung ano yung pinakamataas na bandwidth na pwede nilang gamitin. Okay? So, when troubleshooting switch port issues, it is important that duplex and speed settings are checked. Let's see dito sa ating kunyari interface fast Ethernet 01. Tapos kunyari duplex. Question mark tayo. By default, naka-auto negotiate yan. So, kung i-drawing ko siya, So kung ito halimbawa yung NIC natin ay naka 1000 Mbps or 1 Gbps. Tapos ito yung kable natin ay naka-cut, nyari cut 6, no? O, cut 5E na lang. Cut 5E. Ang cut 5E ay 1 Gbps din. Ayan. Tapos itong port na ito. Nyari siya daw ay pwedeng FA0/1, 100 Mbps. So magne-negotiate yung ating NIC at yung interface ng switch natin sa 100 Mbps. Ayan, auto-negotiate siya, no? Okay, kasi mababa rito eh, no? May isang point na mababa, so yun yung gagamitin nila. So mismatch settings now for the duplex mode in the speed of the switch port can cause connectivity issues. Yan, sabi daw auto negotiation failure creates mismatch settings. Hindi ko pa naman na-experience ito sa mga sinetap kong network, no? Okay. All fiber optic ports such as 10 base SX port operates only at one preset speed, no, and are always full duplex. Okay, so dapat parehas ng configuration to, no, yung speed and duplex. Dito ginawa niya manual, no. Configure terminal sa switch number 1, interface bus Ethernet 01, duplex full speed 100, no, nag-manual siya. Pero dapat parehas dito, baka mamaya dito naka half duplex, edi walang connectivity yan. Meron tayong tinatawag na auto-MIDIX, no? Okay. So, when automatic medium dependent interface crossover is enabled, the switch interface automatically detects the required cable connection type, no? Straight through or crossover and configure the connection appropriately. So, ibig sabihin, kung babalikan natin yung concept ng networking sa Cisco 1, switch to switch dapat daw crossover cable, di ba? Ayan, kaya lang, ang crossover cable kasi pagka kinonect nyo sa gigabit to gigabit ng dalawang switch, 100 Mbps lang siya. Okay, kasi 4 na wires lang yung ginagamit niya, no? Yung white, orange, white, green. 25 Mbps each, 100 Mbps lang. So, therefore, hindi nyo ma-achieve, no, yung highest bandwidth, no? Or yung speed. So, kaya yung mga switches natin sa bawat port nakaset sa auto media dependent interface crossover para pwedeng switch to switch straight cable. Kung ang cable ninyo cat 6, ang interface ng switch niyo ay gigabit 1 Gbps, edi 1 Gbps yung connectivity natin switch to switch, no? So when connecting to switches now without the auto-MIDIX feature, a straight-through cable must be used to connect to devices such as server, workstation, or routers. No? Crossover cable must be used to connect to other switches or repeaters. With auto-MIDIX enabled, kasi nga by default naka-enable siya, no? Yan, kung gusto niyo i-disable, no MIDIX auto. Pasok kayo sa interface, no MIDIX auto. Kung sa isang side ng switch naka no MIDIX auto, sa kabilang side naka MIDIX auto, still gagana yung auto media dependent interface kahit isang switch lang siya. Okay. Pero wala naman kasi gumagawa na i-disable pa nila ito, no? So the auto MIDIX feature is enabled by default on the Catalyst 2960, 3560 switches, but is not available on older Catalyst 2950, 3550 switches. To examine daw the MEDIC settings for a specific interface, use the show controllers Ethernet controller command with the physical keyword, no, to limit the output to line referencing. So check na natin. Show controllers. Show controllers. Ethernet controller physical. Ilang yun, no? Include pala, no? Should use pipe. Yan. So ilang naman yun, no? So, ibig sabihin ito sa lahat ng ano to, ng interface. So, ibig sabihin naka-MEDIX auto tayo sa port 01. Ganoon din sa ano, sa lahat ng port natin. So, verification commands, no, that you can use, ano, show interfaces, ito show startup -config para malaman kung may laman yung ating configuration. Show running, ito yung naka-load sa memory. Yan, show flash, show version, and so on. Display the system hardware and software status. Show history. Yan, show IP or IPv6 interface. Show MAC address table, or depende sa iOS, no? Show MAC address, MAC-address table, or ito older command ito yung bago, no? The show running config command can be used to verify that the switch has been correctly configured, no? Dito daw for from the sample abbreviated output of the switch 1, some important information is shown, no? Yan, yung pass Ethernet 018 daw configured with the management VLAN 99. Again, pag-uusapan pa natin yan doon sa topic na VLAN, no? Tapos yung IP address, IPv4 and IPv6 address, and default gateway. Using the show interfaces command, no, display status and statistics information on the network interface of the switch. The show interfaces command is frequently used, no, when configuring monitoring network devices. When configuring and monitoring. So the first line of the output daw show the interfaces pass Ethernet 018 indicates that the pass Ethernet is physically up, data link up, no? Meaning that it is operational. Further down, the output shows the duplex is full. Yan, duplex. Yan, full duplex, and the speed is 100. Media type is 10 by 100 base TX. So the output from the show interfaces command is useful for detecting common media issues, no? One of the most important part of this output daw, you know, is the display of the line and data link protocol status. So the first parameter daw, pass Ethernet is up, refers to the hardware layer, no, and indicates whether the interface is receiving a carrier detect signal. The second parameter, line protocol is up, refers to the data link and indicates whether the data link layer protocol keep alive are being received, no. So based on the output of show interfaces command, possible problem can be fixed, no, as follows, no. If the interface is up and the line protocol is down, a problem exists. There could be an encapsulation type mismatch The interface on the other end could be error disabled, or there could be a hardware problem. If the line protocol and the interface are both down, a cable is not attached, or some other interface problem exists. For example daw, in a back-to-back connection, switch to switch, the other end of the connection may be administratively down. If the interface administratively down, it has been manually disabled. No? So the shutdown command has been issued. So, in the active configuration, no? Sabihin dapat mag-no shutdown kayo. The show interfaces command output displays counters, no, and statistics for the past Ethernet 018 interfaces, no, kagaya nito, 0 runs, 0 giants, 3 input errors, 3 CRC, and so on, no. Daming kumbaga mga errors yan. Okay. Ano-ano ba yung mga information na yan? Some media errors daw are not severe enough, no, to cause the circuit to fail, but do cause network performance issues. The table explains some of these common errors which can be detected using the show interfaces command. No? Input error daw, total number of errors including runs, giants, no buffer, CRC, frame, overrun, and ignore count. Runs, packets that are discarded because they are smaller than the minimum packet size for the medium. If you remember, no, Ethernet packet that is less than 64 byte is considered run. Giants, packets that are discarded because they exceed the maximum packet size, no, for the medium. Any Ethernet packet that is greater than 1518 is considered giant. So dinidiscard yan ng switch natin, dinadrop niya yan. CRC calculation, no? Errors are generated when the calculated checksum is not the same as the checksum received. Output errors, sum of all errors that prevented the final transmission of the datagram out of the interface that is being examined. Collision, number of messages retransmitted because of an Ethernet collision. Late collision, a collision that occurs after 512 bits, no, of the frame have been transmitted. So input errors, no, is the sum of all errors in the datagram that were received on the interface being examined. This includes the run, giant, CRC, no buffer, frame, no buffer frame, overrun, and ignore counts. The reported input errors, no, from the show interfaces command includes the following. Yeah, so Ethernet frames that are shorter than 64 byte daw, no, minimum allowed length, no, are called runs. Malfunctioning NIC are the usual cause of the excessive runs, but they can also be caused by collision. Giants, no? Ethernet frames that are larger than the maximum allowed size, no, are called giant. CRC errors, no, on the Ethernet and serial interfaces daw, no, CRC errors usually indicates a media or cable error. Common causes includes electrical interference, loss or damaged connection, or incorrect cabling. If you see many CRC errors, there is too much noise, no, on the link, and you should inspect the cable. You should also search for and eliminate noise sources. No? Output errors is the sum of all errors that prevented the final transmission of datagrams out of the interface that is being examined. No? So the reported output errors from the show interfaces command includes the following. Collision. Collision in half-duplex operation are normal. However, you should never see collision on an interface configured for full duplex communication. Late collision. A late collision daw refers to a collision that occurs after 512 bits, no, of the frame have been transmitted. Excessive cable lengths are the most common cause of the late collision. Another common cause is duplex misconfiguration. Yeah, so you can read this troubleshooting flowchart. No? So, securing remote access. So, nagawa na natin to last time. No? Ngayon, yung telnet, which is unsecured type of remote access. No? So, pero basahin na rin natin. So, telnet uses TCP port 23. It is an older protocol that uses unsecure plain text transmission of both login authentication, pwedeng username and password, no? And data transmitted between the communicating devices. A threat actor can monitor packets using Wireshark. For example daw in this figure, no? Yan yung Wireshark daw, na-capture niya yung yung password, no? Saka ayan yung password CCNA, no? Saka yung username admin. Of course, secure shell na ang dapat natin gamitin, no? Is a secure protocol that uses port number 22. It provides a secure and encrypted management connection to a remote devices. Should replace telnet, no, for management connection. So it provides security for remote connection by providing strong encryption when a device is authenticated using the username and password, and also for the transmitted data between communicating devices. Ito yung sample capture na hindi natin maintindihan, no, kung ano yung nilalaman. No? So to enable SSH on a Catalyst 2960 switch, the switch must be using a version of iOS software including cryptographic encrypted features and capabilities. Show version daw, basta may makita kayong K9. K9. Show version on the switch to see which iOS the switch is currently running. An iOS file name that includes the combination K9 supports cryptographic encrypted features and capabilities. Paano kung walang K9? Ano lang siya? Web-based, no? Web-based remote access siya. K9, no? You know? So we have version, version 15 K9. Check na natin, show flash. Kahit yung ating version 12 K9 din. Ibig sabihin, meron siyang crypto key generate RSA command na. Okay? Actually, yung steps ng SSH, pwede naman may iba yan eh. Okay? Pwedeng hindi nyo nga sundin yung order nito, pwedeng iba may mauna, di ba? Pero before configuring SSH, the switch must be minimally configured with the unique host name and the correct network connectivity settings, no, yung IP addressing, no, saka yung gateway. Verify SSH support, no? Use the show IP SSH command, no, to verify that the switch supports SSH. Check na natin. Show IP SSH. Yan. SSH enabled version 1.99. Configure the IP domain name. Okay. Configure the IP domain name of the network using the IP domain dash name and then the name, no? Global configuration mode command po yun. Generate RSA key, no? RSA key pairs, no? Generating an RSA key pairs automatically enable SSH. use crypto key generate RSA global configuration mode command to enable the SSH server on the switch and generate RSA key pairs. Take note, to delete the RSA key pairs, use the crypto key 0wise RSA global configuration mode command. After the RSA key pair is deleted, the SSH server is automatically disabled. Check na natin. Crypto key generate crypto key 0wise RSA. SSH disabled, no? Configure user authentication. So the secure shell server can authenticate user locally or using an authentication server to use the local authentication method. Create a username and password pair using the username and secret password global configuration mode. Again, username saka secret ang ginagamit natin. Hindi na po username tapos password na command. Ano? Configure the BTY lines. No? So enable the secure shell protocol on the BTY line by using the transport input SSH line configuration mode command. Use the line BTY global configuration mode command and then the login local line configuration mode command to require local authentication for SSH connection from the local username database na ginawa natin. Pwede naman nating i-hard code, no, na version 2. Yan. Sabi daw, by default, SSH support both version 1 and version 2. When supporting both version, this is shown, no, in the show IP SSH output supporting version 2. Enable SSH version using the IP SSH version 2 global configuration command. Ibig sabihin, hard code na version 2. No? Then verify SSH is operational using using PuTTY, no, to connect to SSH server, no. Tapos lagay niyo yung username and password. To display the version and the configuration data for SSH on the device that you configure as an SSH server, use the show IP SSH command. No? Yan, show IP SSH command. Nakikita rin pala natin dito kung sino yung nakalagin. No? Yan, yung admin na yun. No? Show SSH. Okay. Ito, review na lang. No? Basic router configuration. Hindi na ako mag-demonstrate dito. Pwede nyo naman gawin ito sa Packet Tracer. No? Cisco router and Cisco switch have many similarities. No? They support a similar model operating system, similar command structure, and many of the same commands. In addition daw, no, both devices have similar initial configuration step. Yan, ito. Hostname, encrypted privilege password, yung user mode na lalagyan natin ng password, no? Yung ating BTY, no, or telnet. To enable encryption, no? Service password encryption. So, yung banner daw provide legal notification of unauthorized access, no? Yan, banner MOTD. Yan. Saving configuration, no? Pares lang, no? Copy running -config to startup -config. So, one distinguishing feature, no, between switches and router is the type of interfaces supported by each. For example daw, no, layer 2 switches supports LAN. Therefore, they have multiple bus Ethernet or gigabit ports. The dual stack topology in the figure is used to demonstrate the configuration of router IPv4 and IPv6. Ibig sabihin, pwede palang i-dual stack natin pati yung mga switches natin sa yung mga PC. Ano? Okay. So ito naman, configuring interface on the router. No? So magamit tayo dito ng command na interface type, no? Then the number, and then ayan, description, no? Optional lang naman ito, pero lumabas pala ito sa ano, no, sa final PTSA natin, yung description. So dapat pala sanayin lang, no? Dito lang sa ano, sa Net Academy lang, no? Pero syempre kapag kayo ay nagtatrabaho na sa labas, bahala na kayo sa buhay nyo. Buhay nyo naman yun eh. Kung kaya nyo lagyan ng description, di huwag, di ba? Ayan, so ito yung sample command, ano? Tapos description. Yung description, syempre, naka-indicate dito kung yung madali nyo maintindihan, no? Ano ba yung purpose ng interface G00? G00 pala ay link connected to LAN 1. No? Kunyari, switch 1 yun, yung LAN 1. Ito, loopback, additional command lang natin, no? Wala lang, for testing lang, no? For testing, kunyari, may, ito, drawing tayo, no? Instead na gumawa tayo ng physical topology na napakarami, no? Diba sa packet tracer ang ginagawa natin? So meron tayong router, yan, router, no? Tapos switch. Of course, yung mga interfaces na yan, may mga IP address yan. Ngayon, kung ikaw ay tinatamad, no, at wala ka ng, or ayaw mo na mag-set up pa ng mga switch dito sa router, no, pwede ka maglagay ng loopback dito. Yan, loopback. It will present as if interface yan. Yan, loopback. Any number po yan, no, marami kasi yan. Tapos lalagay niya ng IP address sa subnet mask. So another common configuration of the Cisco iOS router is enabling a loopback interface. Yung loopback interface daw is a logical interface that is internal to the router. It is not assigned, no, to any physical port and can never be connected to any other devices. It is considered a software interface that is automatically placed in an app state as long as the router is functioning. So the loopback interface daw is useful in testing, no, and managing a Cisco iOS device because it ensures that at least one interface will always be available. For example, it can be used for testing purposes such as testing internal routing process by emulating a network behind the router. Loopback interfaces are also common use, no, in the lab environment to create additional interfaces. So, for example daw, you can create multiple loopback interfaces on the router to simulate more networks. Parang maraming switches, no? The IP address of each loopback interface must be unique, no, and used and unused, no, by any other interface. In this curriculum, we often use loopback interface to simulate a link, no, to the internet. Sige, gamit tayo ng packet tracer. So sa WAP yun, no? Nagtatanong kung safe ba yung yung paglalagay niyo ng password. Natural, no? Kasi in reality wala naman talagang safe na system, no? Pero dahil gagamit ka ng Cisco Packet Tracer, you need to log in your username and password. Pero kung ayaw niyo talagang ma-store yung password niyo diyan sa local PC niyo, wag niyo i-check to. Okay? Kasi ang purpose ng keep me login is to remember password. Yan. Of course, kung sarili mong PC, pwede yan. Pero kung may gagamit na ibang user na sa tingin ninyo advanced, magaling sa cyber security, magaling mang-hack, no, maaaring makuha yung password nyo. Especially kung password na ginagamit nyo rito is same no, sa lahat ng mga digital assets ninyo. Okay? So ako, ito na lang ginagamit ko, no, yan. Default lang. Tapos, log in na tayo kaagad ng username and password. So, ipakikita ko sa inyo rito yung gamit ng loopback interface. No? So, halimbawa dito sa side na to, meron lang tayo isang switch network. Ano? Yan, tapos, gusto lang natin i-test yung internal routing yan. No? So, dito, kaysa sa magdagdag pa ako ng switch, bibili pa ako ng switch. No? Maglagay na lang ako ng loopback. Kunyari, loopback interface 1. Kahit anong number naman yun. Kunyari, ang IP address niya ay 172.17.01. Pwedeng, kunyari, /16. No? Pero usually, kapag ka naglo-loopback, /32 eh. Yan. Anyway, babalikan naman natin yan sa mga susunod na meetings natin. Sige, configure natin. Pala, no? Description. Link to S1. So now let's create a virtual interface loopback, question mark tayo. So you can use 0 up to ilan to? 2 billion ba? 2,143,483,647 interfaces. Kailangan namang tapusin nyo yan, no? Dyan sa router ninyo, maubos lang panahon nyo. Pero pwede naman kayo mamili any number. No? Kunyari 1 ang ginamit ko. Naka-up kagad siya kasi nga virtual interface lang siya eh. IP address 172.17.0.1. Pwedeng all 255s. No problem dyan. No shutdown. No need to no shutdown. No? Pwedeng lagyan yung description. No? Kunyari virtual LAN. No? So now, test natin, ping natin. Mapiping natin yun. Ping 172.17 ba ginamit ko? 17.0. Yan, i-reply. Kasi it will create entry, show IP route connected. Yan, ititreat yan ng router as another network. Yan ay kapag tinatamad kang maglagay ng physical switch at another PC to test kung gumagana yung routing. Verify directly connected networks. Okay, mga Mga show commands lang naman ang gagamitin nyo rito, no? Show IP route, show IPv6 route, no? Ayan, show IP interface brief. Para kayo na ganito yung ipconfig/also Windows or IPA or ifconfig sa Linux. Usually yung command na to, hindi nyo kailangan tanongin sa akin, no? Sir, kailangan ko ba show IP interface brief? Hindi na ganoon, no? Automatic ilagay nyo na sa sistema nyo yun, no? Bilang i-treat nyo yung sarili nyo as network engineer, no? O network engineer or network technician. Kumbaga, mga arsenal nyo na yun, mga tools nyo na, no, to check the network. Hindi nyo na kailangan pa magpaalam, ano, kapag kayo ay nagto-troubleshoot. So the output of the show IPv6 interface brief command display two configured IPv6 address na per interface. No, one address is global unicast address that was manually entered. The other is link local address. Lagyan natin. Ito, network address ito. Yan. 4 na field. No? Tapos, /64. So, PG000 IPv6 address. Nangyari, lagay ko first IP, no? /64. So dito sa kabila maglagay rin tayo, no? So yan yung mga address natin. So meron tayong link local na automatically generated by our iOS sa interface na yan. So a link local address is automatically added, no, to an interface whenever a global unicast address is assigned. An IPv6 network interface is required, no, to have a link local address, but not necessary a global unicast address. The show IP interface specific interface command will display the interface status and all of the IPv6 addresses belong to that interface, along with the link local address, global unicast address. The output includes multicast addresses, no, assigned to the interface, beginning with FF02. Show IPv6 in G00. Yan. So nakalagay dito, no? Yan. FF02 ::1. No? The output of the show dash running config interface. Hindi ko alam kung magana siya rito, show run in G000. Show running interface G00. Hindi gumagana rito sa packet tracer. So, ito sa tunay na device nyo na makikita. So, the following two commands are used, no, to gather more detailed interface information. Yan, show interfaces, display the interface information and the packet flow counts, no, of all interfaces on the device. Show IP interface, show IPv6 interface will display IPv4, IPv6 related information for all interfaces on a router. the show IP route or IPv6 route. Yan. So makikita natin dito yung C directly connected, no? Yung L daw local host route yan eh. The local host route has an administrative distance of 0. Yan. So L, 0, administrative distance 0. It also has a /32 metric. Again, babalikan natin yung word na administrative distance no, kapag pinag-usapan na natin yung dynamic routing. Yan, sa Cisco 3. Okay. So kapag ka IPv4 yung nalagay natin na IP address interface, magkakaroon tayo ng link local address. Ito, link local address. IP address ng interface pero /32. Yan. Ang purpose lang kasi niya pang filter lang yan ng traffic or pang filter ng traffic, no? That is directed to that IP address only, which is 10.1, no? Pang finer filter kasi ito. Yun lang yung mababasa nyo sa internet eh, no? Kung IPv6 naman siya, IPv6/128. The local host route is for route on the router that owns the IP address. It is used to allow the router to process packet destined to that IP address. C, ibig sabihin ay directly connected network. When the router interface is configured with a global unicast address and is in the upstate, the IPv6 prefix and prefix length are added, no, to the IPv6 routing table. The IPv6 global unicast address applied, no, to the interface is also installed, no, in the routing table as local route. The local route has a /128 prefix. Yan. Local routes are used, no, by the routing table to efficiently process packets with the interface address of the router as the destination. Same lang naman yan sa local route ng IPv4. Ayan. So may mga filter command pala tayo, no? Kasi pagka nag-show run kayo, show startup, ang daming content na makikita nyo. You will use spacebar for browsing more pages, no? By using the pipe filter, no? Pwede natin paiksiin yung display doon sa ating iOS. Ayan. So, commands that generate multiple screen of output are by default post after 24 lines. At the end of the post output, the --more no, text displayed. Pressing enter daw display the next line and pressing the spacebar display the next set of lines. Use the terminal length to specify the number of lines, no, to be displayed. A value of 0 prevent the router from pausing between screen of the output. Dire-diretso yan. So, kaya lang, hindi ko naman ginagawa ito, terminal length. Another very useful feature that improves the user experience in the CLI is filtering the show output. Yan. Filtering command can be used to display specific section of the output, no? To enable the filtering command, enter the pipe symbol, no? Sa keyboard natin ito, pipe symbol. After the show command. Then enter filtering parameters, no? Kagaya po nito, ayun, no? There are 4 filtering parameters that can be configured after the pipe. We have the section. Kunyari, section BTY shows the entire section that starts with the filtering expression. So check na natin. Show run section BTY. Sorry, section. You include all output lines that match the filtering expression. Show run. Include IP, no? Exclude IP kaya natin. May exclude kaya, check natin. Exclude IP. Hindi, walang IP, no? Begin. Okay. So mag-start siya doon sa pinakaunang IP, then display niya lahat ng line, no? ito na, pag-aralan na rin naman natin sa Cisco ito, no? The command history feature is useful because it temporarily stores the list of executed command to be recalled, no? To recall commands in the history buffer, Control P. Patumbas yan, arrow key, up arrow key. The command output begins with the most recent command, no? Repeat the key sequence to recall successively older command. So to return to a more recent command in the history, Control N or down arrow key. Actually, ginagamit ko lang up arrow, down arrow eh. Repeat the key sequence to recall successively more recent command. Pero syempre sa exam, no, kailangan alam niyo yan. Control P, up arrow, previously, no. Return naman, and by default, command history is enabled and the system captures the last 10 command lines, no, in its history buffer. Use the show history privilege exec command to display the content of the buffer. It is also practical to increase the number of the command line that the history buffer records, no, during the current terminal session. Use the terminal history size. Use exec command to increase and decrease the size of the buffer. Ayan. So, yun na pala yung end ng ating module. Ano? Meaning, you may repeat. Bahala kayo kung ilang beses nyo i-repeat yung video na ito para maunawaan ninyo. Pero, kung i-repeat nyo lang yung video natin tapos lagi kayo inaantok, hindi naman kayo nag-jot down, useless. No? Gayahin nyo yung iba yung classmate na nagsusulat, no? Nagre-record sa notebook. Especially kapag sila ay makakalimutin, so nagsusulat sa notebook. Ano? Useful naman yun eh, kasi you can use that notes in preparation naman sa OJT ninyo. Okay? Para nare-recall ninyo yung mga key topics. No? Hindi yung natapos lang kayo ng Cisco 1, wala kayong sinulat. Tapos yung Cisco 2, Cisco 3. For sure niya, pagka nag-interviewhan na yan, wala na. Okay? Sigurado yan, mangangarag kayo ngayon, babalikan nyo na naman yung video natin. Hindi nyo rin makaka-capture lahat kasi hindi kayo nag-jot down. Okay? Ayun lang yung advice ko sa inyo. No? If you wanted to talaga na matutunan itong technology na ito at makalabas talaga kayo sa school na to at maging dependent, no? Or independent, sorry. Maging kayo sa sarili niyo, no? Nakaka-travel kayo on your own, nakakapag-work kayo, kaya niyo na mabuhay na on your own. Okay, mag-aral na mabuti. Okay? Tanggalin niyo na sa sistema niyo yung tinatawag na pagiging introvert, no? Okay, yung pagiging mahiyain, tanggalin yun. Kasi kung lagi nyo lalagay sa sistema nyo yan, ibig sabihin nun, sa bahay na lang kayo. Okay, sa bahay na lang kayo magstay. Tapos, hayaan nyo yung magulang nyo bumuhay sa inyo. Yan. Pero in the end, magkakaroon pa rin kayo ng problema kasi tandaan nyo, ang buhay ng mga magulang natin ay hindi permanent. Kahit buhay natin, hindi permanent. No? So yun lang. I hope this video helps you understand, no, yung mga topic included, no, at revisit yung mga previous topic natin, no. Yan. So maraming salamat sa inyong pakikinig at panonood nitong ating recording, ano. Yan. Pakibasa ang curriculum, pakigawa yung mga packet tracer activities doon, saka yung mga practice quiz. Ma-check nyo naman kung may mali yung mga quiz, no? Kung susubukan ninyong aralin din. Okay? So, again, thank you.